So it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Southern California, wrapping up the day. I had to run some errands, take care of a few things. And in doing so, I wanted to film a few things on my journey into Riverside County and San Bernardino County today. And I filmed a few things for all of you I want to share with you. And I want to share another clip of the homeless epidemic that is flooding California. Flooding Southern California right here, and also the amount of inventory with new cars. So I have one clip I'm about to show you. I shot this area probably about 6 months ago, and as I was making a stop in Riverside today, I was a block away, so I figured let's go across the street and just see what's going on. Let's see if the problem's improved or if it's gotten worse. This area has gotten so much worse. I would say the homeless population has doubled. Again, I shot a video about 6 months ago in this same exact area. It is so much worse today. The population of homeless people has grown. And it's so sad to see. Yes, there is a lot of drug abuse, but there is also a lot of people with mental disability, people who have had bad luck, people who have fled broken homes and abuse. So I try not to judge these people. And I also know for a fact that there are going to be a lot of Americans that are going to land up in the same places, living in tents, living in cardboard boxes, living under plastic canopies. Now, I know a lot of you may not believe that, but there's a lot of people on the street today that can't believe they're living on the street. Some bad luck, not having family to fall back on, a bad economy, a mistake, massive medical bills, and anybody is vulnerable to being homeless. So I try not to judge these people, because at the end of the day, they still live in America, they're still Americans, and I just have a hard time turning my back on people, no matter what the case may be and why they're living on the streets. I don't think it's healthy for the county or the city or for the general public to have people living on sidewalks or sleeping in industrial areas. That's my opinion. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing here in Southern California is a flood of homeless everywhere. This epidemic is increasing, and it is not going to stop. And we're all going to know somebody who lands up being homeless, going to lose their job, bad luck, no family to fall back on, medical bills, and a terrible economy is going to force good people who once had jobs, once had homes, once owned a car, to land up just like many of these people. So I just wanted to point that out and shoot a few minutes of video for you. And also, I shot a little bit of video today of some of the car lots out in San Bernardino County. And if this isn't a bellwether or an indicator of what's happening in this economy, 84 months, 0% interest, slashing prices. And I bet you I didn't see more than 5, 6, or maybe 7 people on 10 of the car lots actually looking at cars today. And if people aren't out and about walking today on a beautiful 85-degree day, after they've been cooped up in their houses, if they're not out at least walking the car lots for exercise just to get out, and the best they can muster up is about 5 to 8 people on multiple car lots, that's a bad sign. But again, when people are losing their jobs, when they're getting tapped out, do you really think they're going to be out buying new cars? Absolutely not. And by watching the video, it speaks for itself. Nobody is out looking at cars on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I was reading an article today. I made a couple notes really quick I want to go over with you. Real unemployment, according to shadowstats.com, is now 39%. Now remember, money printing is not going to fix this problem. When you have massive money printing and an unemployment rate of 39%, half this country not working, we are going to have a very negative outcome. There was an article today on The Hedge with Egan von Greers, one of the smartest precious metals people on the face of the earth. He said investors have been buying the dip for 8 weeks while the world collapses. They're oblivious to the real economy, to the world economy. Instead, they're focusing on the injection of liquidity in the form of worthless money. And this is just the main reason why you need to be putting gold and silver away, why you need to have a cash reserve, why you need to be getting the debts paid down. These investors believe there is only one important sector in the economy, which is finance and money printing. The worse the economy turns, the more money is printed, and stock market investors love it. The world is paralyzed, but who cares when you have money printers who can just create trillions out of thin air? Who cares if a company makes profits when central banks can create all the money the world needs? Just think about that. All these corporations on Wall Street not even making money because they're solely reliant on the central banks, the Federal Reserve, to print money. Egan goes on to say, it's fortunate for investors that the money business is booming and causing all this euphoria in the stock market. To make money in the stock market, you don't need companies producing goods. All you need is a friendly central banker who keeps on printing. There's no means of avoiding the final collapse of a boom brought on by credit expansion. And you can believe that or you can deny it, but at the end of the day, we're all going to find out. Look, I can afford to be wrong, but can you afford for me to be right? The worst case scenario for me is I'm going to be sitting on gold and silver, which will always have a value. I'll be sitting on security. I'll be sitting on food and water, which if I can't use it, I'll give it to homeless people. But at the end of the day, we will find out who will be right, who will be wrong. And in all honesty, I hope I'm 100% wrong. What's going to matter is, can you survive? How dangerous will times be? How desperate will people have become? Will you be able to eat? So a lot of uncertainty to come. And this is why I believe it's so important to have security, to have food and water, to have assets, to have cash, to have the debts paid down, to be walking extremely close to God, and to be absorbing knowledge on a daily basis, really keeping an eye on what is happening. Because if you're asleep at this point, if you're not prepared at this point, God help you.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
So I think I'm going to leave it right there today. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. But from what I saw again today, it's just a repeat, another reminder to reinforce what I've been preparing for, what I believe in. And I advise that all of you get out of the house, get out and see what's really going on in your areas, in your cities, around your state. And the more that you do, I believe the more you will prepare, because there is no denying when you drive by the car lots, the RV lots, the boat lots, there's no denying when you drive by the tent cities, when you see the homeless people just everywhere in all these towns in Riverside County, San Bernardino, roaming the parking lots. We are definitely in a different time of history here in America. And when you look at this with your own two eyes, you're going to know exactly why you're preparing. Look, the crisis has already begun. Just driving around today, I can already see the crisis has begun. What I can't see is how bad it's going to get and how many casualties we're going to suffer from this crisis. But right now, we're already suffering a lot of casualties. And it seems like every week it gets worse. Every day, more for sale signs, more for lease signs. The car lots get busier, the RV lots are busier. Right behind me, hundreds of new homes being built, many of them vacant. They've got an area over here that's been graded. Look, who's gonna buy these houses now, no matter how low they bring the interest rates? Bottom line is, if people don't have a job, if they're not making a decent income, are they going to buy one of these houses behind me? Bring the rates down to 1%. Those houses are still over $400,000 for a cookie cutter, okay? If you don't have a job, how do you buy one of those? If you don't have a job, how do you buy the SUV, the car? The interest doesn't even matter at this point. Nobody can even pay the principal. Too much uncertainty out there. Many people don't know if they will have a job 30 days from now. Many people don't know if they're even returning to a job. Many of these new homes are going to be going right back to the bank. This is the unfortunate truth, America. I saw this play out right in the same area back in 2008, and I'm going to watch it play out again. Except this time, I will be much more prepared. Most of you will be much more prepared also. This depression, this collapse is going to make 2008 look like romper room. It will be a Sunday school picnic compared to what's coming.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.